I was going to talk about prayer and faith, but I think it's come out already in a way where gratitude is kind of an energy now.
Yeah.
Because when we were kids, and even our parents kept telling us, "Be grateful," and we were like, "What is this
Yeah,
gratitude
yeah,
thing?"
yeah, yeah.
Now you realize it's the energy. It's how we think. If we have a grateful thought, it creates a kind of energy, and that's why we feel so good about it.
Yeah. And the universe then gives you more reasons to be
Yeah.
grateful for. You know,
Right.
it could be about, she would always say, give gratitude for the food on your plate. And I'd be like, you know, I also went to a convent, and there also you'd be told these things. And while growing up, you're just like, oh, there's yummy food in front of me. I want to get to it. I want to finish that. I don't want to go do something else. But as you grow up, these, honestly, when you're a child, even when you don't follow it through, these things stay with you. And more importantly, as you grow up and go out into the world, I think that's where it matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as long as the seeds are there.
Right. You spoke about prayer.
Yeah.
Okay. And, I'm a huge fan of this belief system that I've learned along the journey, that when we get something, we're grateful.
Yeah.
Okay. That's called gratitude. We give thanks because we're grateful.
Yeah.
Now, when we want something and we've not yet got it, in between our desire and the time we get it or we don't get it, that's life. You can get it or you don't get it, is faith. That's what gets us through,
Yeah.
knowing about that. You speak about prayer. Tell me about that. Are you a religious person? Are you a spiritual person? How does faith play a role in your life?
I honestly don't know how to answer that, but I am someone who prays a lot. I'm not someone who, as a kid, of course, you'd pray that, oh, I hope these questions show up in the
exams,
in the exams, because I know these answers really well. I hope I get so many marks. I hope, it was about, I hope my parents give me this. It was about all of that, right? But I think today prayer is more about gratitude. I think my understanding of prayer, my relationship with God has changed, and I'd like to believe has evolved over the years.
Mm-hmm.
It's previously, God was something that was external to me. So I'm someone who, my mother visits the temple regularly. My father doesn't regularly, but he's also a believer. So he would go on special occasions and things like that, or on specific days of the week, because he was obviously working. But I think that became second nature. That you go to the temple. I would go to the temple every day. I would go to the temple and pray for things that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think it was around 2000 when I joined the movies. I got my first break in Malayalam cinema, and after shooting for about 2 weeks for the film got shelved, and it was like the carrot had been dangled in front of you and then had been snatched away, and that heartbreak was unfathomable, because first, I don't come from a film family. We knew no one, and I've always wanted to be an actor since the age of 8.5, when I saw Madhuri Dixit in Ek Do Teen first, and now this had almost come to fruition, and then it didn't, so I think the shock of that was immense, and that's when I think I stopped asking. Initially out of anger with God, because he or she did not give me what I wanted. But then to realize, when things started taking a turn in the direction of what I saw as even better for me, today I realize that it was for my higher good. Then that's when I started saying, okay, thank you. At the end of every day, I always give thanks for the day it has been, even if it's been not a good day, even if it's been a day when I've, not been happy with myself. I feel like I've not given it my best. Maybe I've had friction with some people in my life. Maybe I'm just, angsty. Maybe even then I always give gratitude. So I think from asking, it changed to giving gratitude around 2000. And I think it's been wonderful. Therefore, now, also around 2011, I started working with a healer, and that has been life-changing, Luke. I think because, and when I talk about healing, people ask me, what mode of healing is it? Is it Reiki? Is it pranic healing? It's what I do with my healer is more to understand it more simply. It's like therapy. I speak to her from wherever I am in the world, whatever my state of mind. There are days when everything seems to be going perfectly, but I want to reach out to her because I know there's something that's unsettling me, that's about to, there is something playing in the back of my mind which is making me a little uncomfortable, whatever it is. And sometimes on good days, I call her whenever. She gives me various tools to recalibrate or to change the way I'm thinking. And I think when you begin to change the way you think, then you begin to see things, you have a different perspective on things. So all of this, I think, has really helped me. But I think I was talking about how my relationship with God has changed over time. For me, it was something external, right? Because I went to the temple, I'd go to the church because I went to a convent. I'd go to any place of worship, a gurdwara. If they let me into a mosque, I'd go into a mosque, But slowly I started realizing that what we're doing is seeking on the outside. The destination is really within. To realize that there is a God in each one of us, that each one of us, that there is a God in each one of us. And then I think it becomes easier to be kind to yourself. That's been a journey. That confidence that we were speaking about a little while ago also comes from being kind to yourself, from knowing that I'm not perfect, but it's okay.
Right.
I'm putting my best foot forward today. The best that I can do today. It may not be the best, in absolute terms, but just, I think, kindness for oneself, because we all talk about being kind to others, but I think we often forget about being kind to ourselves. I feel, especially as women, Luke, I just feel we're very, very hard on ourselves.
No, thanks for bringing up this point, Vidya, because it makes absolute sense. I want to go back to the part where you spoke about gratitude.
Yeah.
That is a form of prayer. And you now thanking in advance that even if you had a bad day, but you're grateful, that's faith. You're giving thanks in advance because you have faith that, hey, it can change, it can get better. No, that's beautiful. That's very powerful, because faith is very misunderstood.
Right.
People say, oh, I have faith, but they try to do God's work or the universe's work by micromanaging. I also like what you spoke about going within, because you are right. Since you went to a convent, I'll take a phrase out of the Bible, which says, be still and know that I am God. Now, a lot of people have different perspectives of this. Oh, ego is saying, no, it just means that whenever you're still, you start looking and feeling within, and your answers are there. You're either being too unkind to yourself, you're beating yourself down, or you're allowing other people's opinions to form your own way of belief and feeling and stuff.
And life,
Yeah.
Who you should be, what you should be doing, how you should be feeling, what you should be saying, all of this are often guided by what we think others expect of us, right? Because we feel that everyone else knows better.
Right. Yeah.
But I think that's, if I had to tell people one thing, I've been in this business for long enough, and lots of people ask me, especially young aspiring actors, what is the one thing that you'll tell us? What is the one piece of advice? And I always say that, you have all the answers. No one knows better.
Just start looking within.
Yeah, you have to but that's so tough. To trust yourself is so tough.
But you've actually left us with a beautiful life lesson, which I want to extract from your conversation about the time where you wanted that first movie to work out so bad. And then you said, okay, I'm going to stop asking for it.
Yeah.
But you actually said that it didn't work out and something better happened.
Absolutely.
Which I think is a lesson for all of us to learn, that sometimes we don't always get what we want.
Yeah.
Because there is something better for us. But you kept the faith and you moved on.
Yeah.
If you had given up, like a lot of people give up when the first time they hit the ground, they've lost opportunities of what could open.
Right.
So thanks for that lesson.